Hi there, well thanks for waiting. This is part 2 of What If Kamen writer Genm was in RWBY. So let's start. Chapter 2, Beacon Academy. My new home. Bullhead, morning. Hey, quick question, does anyone here have a set of cards of Crazy Eights? Because I'm down to play one right now. I don't mean to brag, but I'm really lucky whenever I play Crazy Eights with friends. If you're asking how. Dunno, it's just my lucky draws that brings me a comeback, which I'm glad to pull off the fastest wins possible too when I get the draw. Alright, I should say that my first time sleeping at this bullhead is somewhat comfortable. Like, these nice cushions helped me out. Which I hate when I can't sleep for some reason, usually when I try to fix my schedule. I blame myself for playing video games. Actually, I hope they have similar fighting games just like back in Earth. Oh, it's beautiful. Wondering the many possibilities here in Remnant. While I'm happy for my sleep, Arrow has been sleeping on top of my belly. Lazy bird. You know what's weird? I didn't think I'd be able to tame Grims, let alone while being a Kamen writer. The whole taming Grims doesn't seem to be too bad. Maybe I can actually stop them from eating anyone? Probably sick em to the robots. Oh right, I'd have to skip out the dance if I want to prevent that as well. That'll be a bitch to think about. Fuck, there goes my chances of getting asked out. As if some girl would ask me out, I'm too boring, plus I have a fucking virus for God's sake. God damn it me. Stop thinking about love and focus on the priority. Okay, for now. I'll have to figure out how to level up while also attending in Beacon. Shit, that's gonna take a while to figure out, but oh well. But here's something I need to find out first, about the whole Genm skill deal. The Grim taming skill should have gone straight to Dangerous Zombies system, not that I'm complaining or whatever. Yet, that makes sense. If I remember correctly, Dangerous Zombies bugster data mixed in with my DNA as well. So, doesn't that mean I'm a half-zombie as well? Great, I'll get to eat meat as if I was a savage beast or something. I hope I can keep up with my daily food supply then. Sometimes I hate it when I can't find the answers I'm looking for. But usually, it's there if I wait patiently and let time do its thing. Let's see if we're finally here. I looked at the windows to see the tallest academy I've ever seen. Because holy shit, it's that big. Beacon Academy, a school for people to learn how to slay Grims. The large and most populated school, according to the wiki, having a big garden on the back, the big tower reveals what it carries is 4 to 5 green glowing objects. As stated before, many students have all gathered around in the water fountain, the streetlights turned on. Geez, save the power instead of trying to be flashy for energy I gotta say, it's bigger than my level, yeah that's totally right. Curse you brain. Why must you activate dirty mode without my permission? I'll need to pass my time to, a ham beat thy meat as they say. Where's the tissues? Dirty jokes aside, if I can connect a little bit of dots while I'm here due to my influence. Salem would see me beating my meat while she's, what I assume is looking for, or spying on me if that's the case. I wonder if she would enjoy me in stop don't think about a grim goddess that can obliterate you. Because one thing I know for sure is that Salem could just spy on me for whatever reason, and possibly order Cinder and her 2 subordinates to find me. Goddamn, this day keeps getting worse and worse since I'm here. Right, judging by the students gathering around, my hunch should be correct. Peeking through the windows, instantly spotting a large crowd of most likely first years on the entrance to Beacon Academy. Alright, plenty of students are here. So that could only mean one thing if I look more perceptive at the students gathering. Opening one of the windows and going further, letting air inside the bullhead. I see a fair-skinned young girl with silver eyes and black, neck-length hair that gradiates to dark red at the tips far away. She's wearing a long-sleeved thick black blouse with a high collar and red trim on the sleeves, a black waist cincher with red lacing up the front, and a black skirt with red trim. She also wears a pair of thick black stockings and black combat boots with red laces, red trim around the top and red soles. Ruby Rose. Not gonna lie, but she's pretty fucking adorable all the way here. Since I'm still in the bullhead and she's down there, it's quite funny really. Okay, so there's Ruby, which is good I guess, and she's talking to who I think she's talking to. Yan OHNO. What volume am I? Did I miss my entrance? Curse you canon days. I can't follow your dates. Yang, with little details, can be described not from afar, chibi look, Goldilocks-like hair. I started to blend in with a crowd of people, who I assume are trying to talk to her, going left to right. Wait, did Jian just leave Ruby by herself with her friends? I take that back. Thank you, plot. So that answers my question. I'm pretty much on the first volume, second episode mind you. Oh thank God. I almost had a heart attack there. I wouldn't like it not one bit if I was in the later volumes. Beacon Academy, morning. Once the bullhead landed, its doors opened downward albeit slowly, revealing Ms. Goodwitch stepping out first, then Ashbin. The latter, who looks at the crowd and his school, smiling. It seems we have arrived at our destination. He said. Shall we proceed to my office? Guess it's time to go ahead and get asked by a barrage of who are you? And what's that technology you use to fight dark creations that feed on negativity? Oh right, my gamer driver, along with the only gas hat they saw. Hopefully not the rest of them too. I mean I would love it if it was just only Glinda investigating me with her whip and oh stop. Listen, don't judge me critically just because of the way I act or talk dirty in my mind. Totally don't have a kink for teachers. Curse you best buddy who showed me the way of the hot blondes. I nodded then lightly nudged Arrow on the side waking him up. Come on buddy, it's time to wake up, I said after Arrow woke up from his sleep and squawked happily. He started flapping his wings, landing on my right shoulder. Of course. I shrugged, getting my butt off these comfortable cushions and started walking towards the exit. Closer to the outside world, the sunlight shined on me, then my eyes began to burn. My eyes. My eyes. It burns. Quickly avoiding the stupid stare down at the sun and making stupid regrets already. You know how Beacon Academy looks like, right? The image you'd usually see in Google about Beacon Academy's actually very large. Like holy shit. The pond underneath the surface, oh so peaceful. The headlights, the four glowy things that are protecting Beacon, oh shit, aren't they something big that I keep forgetting about? Probably so, which is why I blame Osmond. Sucks that it gets mowed down by Grims and robots. Once again, goddammit Ashbin. Okay, let's just pretend that I don't know jack shit about this world, and everyone here. What is this place? I asked. I'm great at hiding my true master degree knowledge of this world and how bad it actually is once you set foot in here. Ashbin sipped his coffee who was still enjoying the view. It's Beacon Academy. Once again, I asked to pretend I'm stupid. What's Beacon Academy? Glinda raised her eyebrows. What do you mean? What's Beacon Academy? Raising her suspicions on me even further. I bowed like a gentleman in a polite manner. I do apologize for my rudeness, my lady, but like I said, what's this academy about? I asked. I don't know what kind of school this is, which is why I ask. How come there's a bunch of people here? I pointed at the crowds. I assume it's a gathering or rather a meeting of such? I said, nailing my fake impression. Ashbin sighed. Beacon Academy is where young and potential warriors can be trained here and learn to stop the forces of Grimm by their choice. So, basically like hunters? I said. The proper term would be huntsmen or huntresses, Ashbin said with a minor shrug. Well, sorry if I asked too much, but there's one more thing I want to know before we head off to your office. What exactly are Grimms? When I asked that question, it made the atmosphere quiet. Ashbin looks like he was thinking something I might have to accept later. Call it one of my gut feelings. While Glinda was just spot on with her reaction, mostly because I'm probably a lost one or a rare guy to see a Bigfoot-tall creature with my own two eyes. Trust me, I felt my heart was about to burst in fear and die from a heart attack. since we still have time by our hands before we engage the initiation. I will explain everything once we go inside to that tower," he said while taking a turn to gesture a building next to the statue knight. Alright, the long walk to his office and probably get attention from people and faunuses. Great, social interactions. That's not my best talent at all. I suck at talking to people unless I really get to know them. That's where I can talk and have fun with one of them. Not like I had a choice anyway, I said sarcastically and shrugged. Arrow just tilting his head back and forth. Ashbin lightly chuckled at my sarcastic remark. And then he says, interesting, I'm betting my soul he just said that. Because who would reject a Kamen rider who could wipe out Grims with just a backhand? Okay, not while I can't just backhand a dark creature due to my not-so-great level 3 at the moment with Genm. But hey, I'll be a-okay with 99 lives still in me. I'm lucky enough that I didn't get mauled by those 3 Beowulfs. Plus I'll get stronger. And tame Grims. Fuck, I think Salem might have noticed how stronger I've been getting as well. So, I could only think of 2 outcomes. Either A, she might offer me to join her, or B, send a lot of Grims to kill me or eat me until I actually lose all my lives. Yeah, I feel like outcome B is the most likely to happen. Well, that's going to haunt my dreams. I'm so great with making new friends and enemies. I'm a good person to have while I'm here. Totally. Beacon Academy, Main Avenue, afternoon. Remember when I mentioned how I hate interacting with people in the outside world? Yeah. I don't regret saying that. By the by, I get weird looks from people who are carrying their weapons along and don't see mine. While also seeing my lack of fashion. God, that's annoying to deal with people who complain about my fashion. Actually, a few came over to ask how did I manage to tame a small baby, nevermore, which I only shrugged and said. It just came to me. They didn't bother asking me more questions when I said that, although I did get odd looks since apparently no one has ever tamed a Grim before. Surprisingly, Arrow didn't peck anyone whenever someone comes up close to see him. Wow, I guess he only acts like that since I tamed him. Either it's due to the connection between us that he understood, or he's just not harming any human beings unless they attack him first. Cool, Arrow obeying his side though. Remember how the majority of people from the first volume and so on you'd only see shadow people? AKA no skin tone, no weapon, no clothes, and etc.? Let me explain what I meant by that. Go back to the first volume of RWBY when RWBY herself said this. Oh my gosh. She has a flame sword. Turns out, that women who were wielding that flame sword are actually the most beautiful being I've seen, besides the other girls in this world, and in mine as well. Her hair was sort of like Nora except much lighter, added with a few trails of gold, which is supposed to be how her flame theme makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, that flaming sword was fucking badass. The sword's handle had a unique design, by watching how she calls on fire. She's actually concentrating her aura with the weapon. I figured out that it's her semblance that let her keeps the flames from burning anyone, including her, like Yang's semblance. She could have been quite an interesting side character, honestly. Now, her looks, her face overall. Let me put it this way, she looked so gorgeous my heart stung. Don't worry, it's not like I'm falling in love with her or anything. Now my heart belongs to no one. No, I'm not gay nor asexual. Although there's nothing wrong with your sexuality since every people have different tastes, and that's fine. Besides, a friend of mine gave me pretty funny advice back on Earth whenever I find a bunch of potential girlfriends. So I'll repeat it again, just to remind myself again. Follow by your heart, not by your pants. That quote was pretty inspiring if you ask me. It makes sense too. Because I had a couple of crushes a long time ago around high school, but those girls stomped my heart, lied to me as well. Usually, I'd feel down about it. But my mother would always say this to me. You'll find the right one, in due time. I hope so, Mom, I hope so. Enough about my love life, let's get this matter over with. Once Ajpin and I got closer to the building where I assume his office is directly inside, mostly at the top. We suddenly heard yelling not too far from where we are. I turned my head to the left to find where the source was coming from, and his cannon had in mind answered for me. It was RWBY on the floor. I also spotted that small blue cloud from the result of two crystal dusts shook together. Wait, the RWBY? The cinnamon roll RWBY? Huh, well ain't that nice. RWBY, who was getting yelled at by Weiss, or rather nagged at, can't quite tell the difference really. Sounds like I should stop them from causing a major ruckus, 'cause I can see some students shaking their heads. I don't know why, but I really have this urge to come through and probably mess the cannon. But that would require me to do actual work to even do so. Should I step in and be a good gentleman? Which would result in me being RWBY Cannon's sole target too. Or let the show do its thing while I just do the dirty work? Decisions. Alright, I decided what I'm going to do. I'll jump in and go to my gentleman act towards them. I may not like it once Weiss gets all on my face, but whatever. Let's just go ahead and solve that mess anyway. Stopping my tracks, which Ojban noticed. Hey Ojban, mind if you let me do something real quick? I asked him, turning my head to his side. Ojban turned around and spotted where I was looking at. Go ahead. Thanks. I started walking towards the two girls that are making quite a scene. I turned my head to Arrow. Hey, think you can wait for me to return? Arrow tilted his head and cawed sadly. Oh no, I don't mean you leaving, it's just for a couple of minutes, alright? I said to comfort his worry. For a few minutes, he finally nodded. He understands my language. Arrow will be the most smartest and powerful BIRB ever. The small Nevermore flew up a bit away from me, on the sky, his shadow circling around me. Air? I guess that's okay. You know Ojban's a nice guy. Except he got himself killed and all. I'll try and help or something once we get there. I hear Weiss yelling after I got closer. Scratching my noggins as I'm likely going to need to stay calm for this. Sorry? Do you have any idea of the damage you could have caused? She pointed at RWBY, who's currently lying on the ground. Sigh, I hate it when she acts cold. Now hear me out, I get why she acts like that, but it's pretty annoying to hear her rude tone. It makes me want to kill her. No, stop, gotta forgive and understand. Whatever, nice guy mode switch on. I proceeded to calm my mind when I took a deep breath. I put my hands back on my hair and just casually started walking into the scene. Remember, don't be too harsh on her. Always listen and never yell back. RWBY's ears opened and quickly cocked her head to Weiss's left side, as she's looking at me with her silver eyes. Actually looking at her so beautiful eyes, which are so interesting to see with my own eyes as well. God damn it, Ojban, you knew all this time. I smiled and waved at her, approaching the scene. Which RWBY smiled nervously and waved back. She also had a question mark on top of her head. Excuse me ladies, but what's with the sudden commotion? I asked nicely with the same smile facade I'm wearing. Weiss turned around and oh my god, she is stunning. No, stop brain, WHYYYYYY. She's a pale-skinned young girl with pale blue eyes and long white hair pulled back into an off-center bun tail and pinned with an icicle-shaped tiara, currently in her Volume 1 outfit, which is a thigh-length strapless dress with a faint color gradation from white to pale blue at the hem. A crooked scar runs vertically down her left eye. What I can say about that scar is, that's not really impressive to have, but I'm not complaining. Weiss crossed her arms. And who are you? She asked rudely. I bowed respectfully, not trying to get ticked even further. Let me introduce myself, dear lady. My name's Ace. How may I be of service to you, Snow Angel? A tick mark appeared on her head as well and huffed. You're kidding? You don't know who I am. I try so hard to be nice to you, lady. Calm down, me. She'll warm up to her future team. Take another deep breath, me. But let me be honest, it does take a godforsaken long-ass time for her to warm up. Fucking tsunderas are everywhere. Ah, I'm sorry to say I haven't, not one bit. I forced myself to chuckle. But that's not really important in regards to status-wise. She rose a brow once I said that. Oh, is that so? Yes, because what I do know for one thing is, you're someone very important, I said warmly. Weiss stuttered. Wait, what are you talking about? Bingo! I got a hit on her cold heart. Now all I need to do is proceed to plan, respect women. What I'm talking about is you, not you and whatever rich family you are, the same very person I would always keep my eyes over dearly, my fine lady, I said as I take my one knee down as if I was proposing. Which I'm not, I don't have a ring anyway. I'm sorry to ask, but this might be a bit. Weiss tried to say something but started to act a bit nervous, but a little red can be seen on her cheeks. Don't worry, dear lady, all I just want to talk about is your bright blue ocean eyes, cleansing my soul when I look at it. It's like going sightseeing all day long. A sapphire stone, might I add, for that shiny effect. I said. She started to cover her left cheek with her left hand as she had a small smile showing. Why, you really think so? I wouldn't lie to someone beautiful as you, while we're at it. I hope you don't mind if we get to know better in this academy. I nodded while also looking deeply into her eyes. Getting up from my right knee, standing up. I gently took her right hand and gave a small peck, looking at her eyes with my oh-so-best smile. Ruby, who was pretty much confused what just happened at first, covered her mouth when I kissed Weiss's right hand. She just straight up acted all flustered about it. Aw, that's adorable to see. Weiss covered her right cheek with her other hand and blushed. No way, it can't be that easy. It's not that simple to win her heart. Hell no, I don't want a harem. Then again, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Fuck it, I'll just let fate roll it later. Fucking nailed it. Gomi, it's my birthday, actually, that's pretty important. What month, date, is this year? Meh, screw it, I'll find out later. Weiss let out a small smile. Well, it's nice to see someone treats a lady nicely. Yeah, don't get that ahead of your snow angel, I just do what we gentlemen do best. Respecting women every day. Weiss started letting out a cocky smirk on her face. I'm quite pleased with your introduction, Ace, so I'll do mine as well. My name is Weiss Schnee, heiress to the Schnee Dust Company --. She stopped when someone stepped in. Company, one of the largest producers of energy propellant in the world. Aw shit, guess who's here to diss Weiss? Footsteps can be heard behind us. Only I turned around to see a feline girl we all know and love. That's right, folks, it's your ex-White Phone member Blake. Blake started to speak up once she did and started to walk where we were. Incredible hearing, keep forgetting about that. Yeah, I'll need to definitely shut up if I mumble something that even she can hear. A not so tall but yet fair-skinned young girl with amber eyes and long black hair. Blake also has on a black buttoned vest with coattails. Underneath this is a white, sleeveless, high-necked, crop undershirt and white shorts with a zipper on the front of each leg, and wears black low-heeled boots and a small loose scarf wrapped around her neck. There's that black ribbon which is tied with a large bow on the top of her head. She's a funness if you haven't noticed by the obvious ears. Weiss put her arms on her waist finally. Some recognition. She looks at Ruby but then turns to me. No offense, Ace. She said. Okay, I think I just made it on her good side already. It's non-taken, but I do apologize for it, I said. Goo dash dot. She couldn't say it before I interrupted her once more. But however, that doesn't mean I think of you, not as an heiress. Alright, so saying that almost made Weiss almost short a fuse, but I stopped her again to what I'm about to finish saying. But as a person, someone who'll always be there by your side, a friend you may, I said to her with a smile. I guess I let my deep and caring emotion get the best of me. Yes, I have a heart, shut the hell up. After saying that, Weiss stuttered a bit and started shaking a bit. Coolios, I think I might have gotten Weiss's feelings a bit little into me. Nah, that couldn't be right. Doubt it, I'm gonna go on my gut feeling that I might have gone a bit too approaching for her since this is the first day of Beacon. But, that's actually a good thing, mind you, it's so that she'll warm up much earlier later. For now, gonna have to hear what Blake's likely going to say that'll ruin this good moment. Blake coughed with her stoic face to catch our attention. The same company infamous for its controversial labor forces, questionable business partners. Ouch, gotta apply that Burnheel Weiss. I am so sorry Weiss, but it's still a roast and I gotta laugh it, in the inside that is. Sigh, it's hard trying to be nice when your brain wants to explode right now. Weiss's cocky smile and red face faded, led to her getting a bit frustrated from being dissed just like that. What? How dare you? She stuttered once more, but without the smile she had. Damn it, Blake. Ruby chuckled in the background. The nerve of Dash. She gave up, her arms up in the air. Ugh! And walked away. While the gentleman in a suit stepped in, starting to carry the bags she brought over. Jesus Christ, I know there's dust, but I guess I'd need to work on my stamina just for me to carry them. Then again I could test them and help the fellow gentleman out. I approached the fellow gentlemen who have a really sweet stash. Need a hand? One of them had a brown mustache, tried waving it off. It's no problem my good sir, we have this covered. I didn't take that and proceeded. As a fellow gentleman such as I cannot allow you two to decline my offer because I help those in need as well, I said, insisting on helping the fellow sirs. He shrugged and smiled. I suppose if that's all right with you. He said. Sure. I happily said with a smile as well. Both Blake and Ruby looked at me then to each other confused. I started to carry a few of the bags with ease. Weird, I guess they're not so heavy than I thought it was. Oh sir, how are you able to hold them so easily? Each package has very heavy supplies, Miss Schnee ordered. The other butler who has a brown goatee said. Man, these dudes look so perfect to be butlers. Then again, that's pretty much what they're supposed to be due to the Schnee family picking wisely. I haven't met Young and I feel the influence by her puns. God damn it. Oh well, sucks I can't grow any facial hairs. Which once again, I sorta hate my genes for not having the capability to grow one. I guess you can say I've been training, getting stronger and keeping balance later on. I half-lied while stacking the baggages nicely to the cart. One by one, neatly. Alright, the bags carry dust, thank God I'm the one who settles it with the care of carefulness. Well, remember the stats it said it increases per level in Genm? Yeah. It's a pretty sweet reward now that I tested how much I improved by mere 3 levels. I know that doesn't make sense at all, but whatever. Anyways, remember when I used to clean, or rather my job consists of cleaning? It's something like this. Which they're not heavy if I'm being honest here, not that much of a problem anyway. I chuckled after fixing them properly. Ah, I see. But alas, thank you, young man, for your generous help. One of the suited men said, pushing the cart. The 2 handsomely dashing butlers waved a goodbye. After that they're gone. I waved back in response after the 2 dashing gentlemen left. I turned around to see Ruby still confused, but yet awed at my behavior and good looks. And by good looks I mean my dashing weight wise, her silver eyes sparkling. Both my eyes and Ruby's lock onto each other, roses with a weird turn of style turned into an old anime of romance. But suddenly it all got ruined once chibi policeman appeared from the left, ruining the weird segment. Mayday mayday wee woo wee woo. Okay, so let me put it this way, I'm 18, she's 15. That's definitely not good in my case, which is quite a big jailbait I must say, my good sirs. Right, getting her up. Forgot about that. I shook my head and began to step in front of her. I crouched and lowered my hand for Ruby to take it and get up. She shakes her head as well and accepts it, pulling herself up with it. Holy shit, her grip is tight, not going to lie, but it's a pretty strong hold by a 15-year-old girl. Whatever, I'll need to train anyway. I pulled her up back to her feet, with a smile on my face. There you go, I grunted. She quickly swipes off the dirt from her outfit with a small chuckle. You're a clumsy one, aren't you? I grinned. Ruby pouted with crossed her arms when she saw Weiss far away now. She cupped her hands. I promise I'll make it up to you, she said. Weiss ignores her calling and just left the scene. Hey! My ears opened up to turn around to see, oh right, Blake's still here. Blake looked at me with one of her eyebrows raised. Aren't you going to cheer her up? I shook my head. Even though I just met her. I shrugged. It's too sudden. I always follow my mottos when it's times like this. I point to the sky and smiled. Patience is key to everything. The sun shined upon me, making me close my eyes to try and be cooler. RWBY owed and started worshipping me as if I'm a god. Oh great, and Amina, tell me your wise words. She started stuttering. Wow, I didn't think she was that nervous. Guess I'll be the starter then. Motto number 2, when you start taking a step outside of the world, you'll meet new things along the way, I said, giving a huge knockoff of my wise words. RWBY took a salute and giggled. I get it now. Thank you. She said. Damn it, I'm probably going to get a big knuckle sandwich once I meet Jan. Oh joy, I love getting beaten to a pulp. Yes, that was sarcasm. Congratulations, you're smart. Blake being left out, she went to wherever the hell I know she's going. I took a few quick steps, slightly trying to catch up with her and asked her not too loud, well enough for RWBY to hear it. Aren't you going to introduce yourself? Blake stopped where she was heading to and looked back. Blake. That's all she said. Sometimes I get the hard ones, screw it. You've probably heard me, but my name's Ace. Cupping my hands so I can talk louder. Her ears flinched a little, meaning she heard it. She just waved, not looking back. It's a start, I suppose. RWBY sighed, which made have to turn around. All right, she's going to say, I guess I'm not the only one having a rough first day. She then noticed Blake already miles away from her. Oh well, whatever, she looked towards me. She's even cuter in person. Heart please, I can't take her adorableness this close. Well, I guess you already know my name, but hey, I'll say it anyway. I shrugged again. Name's Ace Valiant. May I ask what's your name? Ace Valiant. That doesn't sound like a color. She said, confused. Fuck me, the color naming rule, yeah, I should have thought that out. Then again, I never thought about going to this world more than I disliked to the idea. I shrugged nervously. I'm from a foreign city. I lied, much to my horrible performance doing so. Oh. She said reluctantly. RWBY, I know you're naive, but Jesus Christ. You'd believe everything whatever I say, poor girl. So, your name? I asked calmly and not rude tone. Oh, I'm RWBY. RWBY Rose. She said. RWBY then goes into a fast pace around me, looking for something. If I recall, I guess she wants to see where my weapon I dash. So, where's your weapon? Can I see it? Please. She said, or rather begging, I guess. Pretty cliché, but I called it. RWBY's eyes started getting bigger and bigger, seeing that there's no weapon in front of me. No, stop, I don't want to face the strongest weapon she has in her display. I held RWBY on her shoulders, making her stop. Listen, RWBY, I sort of can't really bring them out just dash, I almost wanted to say, but her eyes got larger with a whimper. The puppy eyes, the deadliest weapon for people like me to say no, must, resist, urge, got it. I sighed. If it makes you feel better. I promise I'll show off my weapons later, okay? I said, trying my best to ease her up. She perked up. Pinky promise? She let out her right pinky with her most infectious smile. Ah yes, the pinky promise. The most sacred promise to keep as both adults and children. I snickered. It's a promise. Doing said pinky promise, I see Ajban, who's just tapping his foot down repeatedly as if I already wasted enough time. RWBY playfully punched my right shoulder, which where I had to hide my yelling from pain. It's nice to meet you. You're a pretty cool guy. It's great to find a new friend. Her punches strong enough for me to die. Fuck, I can't just replace John myself, he's supposed to be introduced in the second episode like Kamen usually does. Besides, I'm running out of time since I've already finished diffusing that bad situation earlier anyway, so John's still getting his spotlight. I'll let you do your thing, Broem. She coughed to get my attention. So, do you know where we're heading into? I shrugged, trying to cover my tears from that punch. Beats me. I lied. Listen, I know we may have just met, but gotta go. I ran off. Sorry. I yelled, no turning back. I heard Ruby yelling my name. Wait, don't go. She fell down again. Ah. My heart sank a bit hearing her, but hey, John will be my replacement, thank God. Alright, I'm back, sorry for the massive delay. I jogged a bit in order to catch up to Ojban. Ojban's still standing where he shakes his head. It's no problem, you stopped the sudden commotion and I applaud you for doing so. Is it because I was being a gentleman? I shrugged nervously. Perhaps. He chuckled lightly. Okay, he has humor, that's good to know. I smirked. Well, lead the way, mister. Ojban smiled a bit there. Ojban, headmaster of Beacon Academy. Was that pride? Nah, that couldn't be it with his stoic face. Well, it's nice to meet you, Ojban. I'll introduce myself later once we go inside your office, I said, running to the building in front of us. He nodded and followed while still carrying his cane and mug. Which I wonder how long has he been holding on to those. I coughed nervously. So, nice academy by the way. He nodded. Yes, it's quite a nice view. Great way to say it, I suppose. Oh, right, Arrow. I looked up to see Arrow still circling around me on the sky. I cupped my hands to my mouth. Okay, you can come on to my shoulder now. I yelled to the sky, directing to Arrow really. Arrow heard my voice and soon slowly, I guess dramatically landed on my right shoulder. He squawked happily once more. Heh, I missed you too, pal. I smiled. Ojban looks to be intrigued by my sudden conversation and bond with the Nevermore. I'll explain the two of us later, I said. Beacon Academy, Ojban's office, morning. Let me just say that when I turn my head around a few times in this place, it's pretty much your average rich kid's school. Halls wide, lunch is big enough for giants to eat, actually, looking inside the ballroom. That explains so much about everyone going to sleep here with enough space. Well, here we are in his office. You know, the elevator music was actually pretty catchy, thought for sure it was going to be a boring normal melody or something else. Whoops, I have to get serious here. Ahem. Yeah, I'm just in this office with Ojban, who was just looking at me menacingly, while Arrow is just picking my messy hair. Oh well, can't be worse. Well, shall we explain what you were doing at Emerald Forest, mister? He said. Emerald Forest? That has a name? I tilted my head, he nodded at my question. Shit, I feel like he might catch my bullshit. Ace Valiant. Ojban raised an eyebrow at me. What an odd name. He said. For fuck's sakes, yeah, the color name rule. I actually didn't think everyone here knows that rule. Which is quite concerning, really. I might have possibly fucked up my secret identity, being some dude who's from another world or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty weird if I do say so myself. I looked behind me and found no one else but the two of us. That's weird. Where is Glinda anyway? Maybe she's announcing that Ojban is busy with some dude like me? Continuing on to my bullshit reason. I have absolutely no idea how I arrived in that forest anyway. I was just waiting on a package, almost died too and poof. Here I am. I explained while not really telling the whole story. Yeah, probably. Alright, come on, Ojban. Let's play your game. Ojban pressed a button revealing a big flat scroll on the window. Holy shit, the technology. Oh. The video plays revealing me transforming into Kamen Rider Genm while finishing off the leader of that used to be Beowulf's gang along while holding the Gashikon breaker in sword mode. Weird, he didn't record or took pictures of me and my other trio? because that could have been something to talk about as well. It's actually a good thing, mind you. Ashvin pushed up his spec and looked interested in the gamer driver. And may I ask what kind of technology that allows someone like you to transform into a... This technology transforms me into a Kamen rider, I explained, although hiding even more details that would be deep and dark to hear. Ashvin rose a brow. Kamen rider? I nodded. The language for that name is different, but the translation means masked rider. Someone who's willing to sacrifice their lives protecting everyone who they care and drive to succeed in saving lives, a superhero identity, so to speak. I laughed nervously. I failed their one rule to keep a superhero identity safe from the public. In your defense, it was the only way to fight back. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. Ashvin tapped a few buttons on the touchscreen on the said scroll, showing screenshots of my swing and finisher. Which I gotta say, it looks pretty cool in this camera angle. Grade A photography work right there. How exactly were you able to fend off those 3 Beowulfs by yourself with the Gashikan breaker? I said. He nodded, mostly because I was referring to the weapon. Wait, those Grims specifically have names called Beowulfs? I asked once more in order to fake my innocence. With Grims on Remnant, we put them into categories as such with a name that fits them. Beowulfs are Grims with wolf-like appearance and ability. There's plenty more to know such about later on. He said. I see. Well, to put it short and simple, I may have practiced a few things here and there, to get my experience when dealing with anything that might kill me, as you put it, Grims. I laid my hand on the back of my head. No, I didn't. I just watch anime characters who swing their blades all around with some power or something along the line, while Exade's Knight does come along nicely with his swordplay, or rather scalp, since he puts it that way. Interesting. He said. Alright, I gotta explain the function of Gamer Driver. Boy, he's not going to like it when I mention people dying, neither will Glinda as well. Speaking of Glinda, where the hell is that graceful lad dash? My thigh-end. Yeah, I feel like going crazy right now, but for some reason, I was able to calm down. That's okay, cool, I can dig it. Mind if I ask something? I nodded, gesturing him to go on whatever he's asking. Ashvin looked at his scroll and back to me. Do you have anywhere to go? Is this what I think he's going to say? Hell the fuck no, I Donaham. I shook my head with a frown. No, I have nowhere to go back to. I lost everything. This is sadly true. I have no home, no one to trust in the outside world of Remnant. No way to go home, or even being with my family. Arrow sensed my negative reaction. He stopped picking my hair and laid his wings on my face. Thanks, buddy. I smiled and patted his head. Ashvin was just there watching the warm scenery. Then, might I make an offer for you? He stood up from his chair and mug. He saw the mirrors reflecting him and myself. Do you want to stay here in Beacon? Kita ah. I looked up to meet his gaze. What's the catch? He smiled and shook his head. No catch, you will learn more and train to save lives. He offers a handshake once he turned around. As a Kamen rider and as a huntsman. I smiled, standing up to lock eye to eye. I shook his hand. Yeah, as a Kamen rider. What's a huntsman? I titled my head again, faking my questionable face. Ashvin chuckled. It's what I said back when I explained why many students are here for. Oh, that actually sounds cool. I scratched my left side of cheek, embarrassed. I guess this'll be my new home then, and make plenty of friends along the years. Dead friends, ha 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 ha. I'm actually sad that a fuck ton of people died because of that damn bitch Salem. Ashvin still holding his smile and nodding. That's what I hope for the best of you. Me too, Oz, me too. Ashvin looked at me with a different expression as his stare increased. I do have one question regarding my suspicions of you. Suspicions? Oh no, now I remember what I said. I said his name even though I don't technically know him. How, do you know my name? She-I-E-ite. To be continued.